It was just past midnight when I stirred from sleep, sensing a quiet presence in my room. The kind of stillness blanketed the air that makes even the softest rustle feel like thunder. At first, I thought I was dreaming, a remnant of something that hadn't quite let go. But then I felt the slight dip of the mattress beside me. It was small, subtle, but enough. I blinked a few times, disoriented, and turned my head. Standing next to my bed, silhouetted in the moonlight slipping through the blinds, was my son, Logan. Logan, I mumbled, still half caught in the tangle of sleep. "What's going on, honey?" He didn't answer immediately. He stood there, quiet, his hands buried deep in the pocket of his hoodie, his shoulders tight with something he didn't know how to let go of. He looked older somehow, more than just the 17 years he'd lived. It struck me how tall he'd gotten, how much his voice had changed, how his presence now carried the weight of growing up. It had been years since Logan had come into my room like this. Not since he was a little boy and afraid of thunderstorms or bad dreams. I sat up straighter and patted the space next to me on the bed. "Come sit down. Tell me what's wrong." He hesitated, but then slowly moved, climbing onto the bed without saying a word. He didn't lie down, just sat cross-legged, staring down at his lap. His jaw was clenched tight, his breath shallow. My heart sank before he even spoke. I knew something was very wrong. "Logan, baby, talk to me," I said gently, my hand brushing lightly over his arm. "Did something happen?" He nodded, almost imperceptibly. His face was pale, his eyes tired, haunted. There was more in his expression than just exhaustion. He looked frightened, hurt in a way that was new to me. "Are you sick? Did someone hurt you?" He didn't say a word, but the second I said the word hurt, I saw his jaw twitch. He didn't have to speak. That told me enough. My heart squeezed as I placed a gentle hand on his back. "Whatever it is, you can tell me. I'm here. We'll figure it out." He took a shaky breath, his lips parting but no sound coming for a moment. Then finally, in a voice so soft it was almost a whisper, he said, "I messed up, Mom." My heart caught. "What do you mean?" He reached into the front pocket of his hoodie, his fingers trembling as he pulled out a slightly bent envelope. He handed it to me, his hand hesitant, his eyes still downcast. I opened it slowly, unsure of what I was about to find. Inside were 3 photographs and a folded piece of paper. My breath caught as I looked at the first image. Logan was in it, standing between 2 other boys I didn't recognize. They were in what looked like a cluttered garage, pizza boxes, soda cans, random chaos. But that wasn't what made my stomach twist. It was the moment the camera had captured. One boy lunging at the other, fists clenched, eyes wild. In another photo, Logan was on the ground, his nose bloodied. The final one showed him trying to push them apart, his expression panicked. "Logan, what is this?" I asked, my voice shaking. He wiped his eyes quickly with the back of his sleeve, trying to stay composed. "I didn't want to go," he said. "Ryan invited me. I didn't know the other guys would be there. I didn't know it would turn into that. Why didn't you call me?" "I panicked," he said, his voice cracking. "I thought if I left, they'd say I was scared. I didn't know how to handle it. Then it all just went bad." Marcus said something about Ryan's sister. Ryan snapped. They started fighting. I tried to stop it. I really did. But Marcus thought I was taking sides. He shoved me. I fell. He swallowed hard, staring down at his hands like they belonged to someone else. I didn't even know someone had taken pictures until later. "Who took them?" "Trevor. He posted a couple on Snapchat, then deleted them. But then he sent them to me and said if I told anyone, he'd send them to school officials, and you said it would look like I was part of it, and I'd get suspended or worse." The knot in my chest turned to a storm. The injustice of it. The fear in my son's eyes. The idea that he'd been carrying all this alone for who knows how long. "I didn't want to disappoint you," he whispered. I pulled him into a hug, without thinking. He leaned into me like he used to when he was little, like all he needed was to be held to remember who he was. "You did the right thing coming to me," I said softly, my arms tightening around him. "I'm proud of you, Logan. So proud." He didn't say anything at first, but his grip on my arm told me everything. He'd been so scared, so alone in his thoughts. Finally, he exhaled a breath that sounded like it had been waiting days to be let out. "I wasn't sure if I should even show you," he said. "I didn't know if you'd be mad or ashamed." "Never," I said firmly. "You stood up. You tried to stop something bad. That's not something to be ashamed of. That's brave. What they did, what they said, that's on them, not you." There was silence again, but this time, it wasn't tense. It was warm, comforting. He leaned against me like a boy trying to be strong, but finally finding a place to rest. I stroked his hair gently. "I want to talk to the school counselor tomorrow," he said, quieter now but more confident. "But I don't want to go alone." "You won't," I said without hesitation. "We'll go together. We'll take care of it." That night, Logan fell asleep beside me. His breathing evened out, his body finally relaxed, like the weight had lifted just enough. I didn't go back to sleep. I lay there in the stillness, staring at the ceiling, my mind racing. I thought about what I'd say to the school, about how I'd protect him, make sure his name wasn't tarnished by lies or fear. I thought about Trevor, how kids can be cruel in the most calculating ways. But most of all, I felt something deeper than anger or fear. I felt gratitude. Because no matter how scared Logan had been, no matter how heavy the secret he carried, he came to me. He trusted me with his truth. And in that quiet hour of the night, I promised myself I'd do whatever it took to protect that trust.